We're going to be reading Reddit stories while starting a new Minecraft world. The first one is sexted my boss by accident and she seems interested. Pray for me. So I'm at work texting my girlfriend under the desk. I type out, can't wait to get home and absolutely ruin your night with the devil emoji. Send it, pocket the phone, and go back to work. A minute later, I get a reply. Bold of you to assume you could handle me. I look down and it's from my boss. My heart stopped. I read it 5 times, thinking my eyes were broken. She wasn't joking. She thought I meant it. Now she's been extra friendly around the office, leaning in close when she talks, complimenting me way too much. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there, sweating through my shirt, trying to figure out how to explain this without ending up on the news. Alright, quick update. Since a bunch of you asked, yes, I told my girlfriend what happened. Her response, well, you better keep it going because we need that paycheck. Honestly, it makes me feel super awkward. She's on the, let's say, less traditionally attractive side, but I can't lie, she does have a dump truck that could stop traffic. So yeah, pray for me. I'm either gonna get promoted, become single, or just permanently humiliated. Maybe all three. Well, I think at this point, you just have to be honest with your boss and say that it was meant for your girlfriend because that's the only way I can see avoiding the awkward situation. Your girlfriend seems to be okay with it, have, you know, she had a good sense of humor with it, but I think the only way out of it is to just be honest with your boss. Here's another one. I got laid off pretending I was still employed for months, ended up getting a better job because of it. Back in August, I got laid off unexpectedly. No warning, no severance, just a hey, we're restructuring and a Zoom call that lasted 3 minutes. I panicked. I couldn't tell my family yet. I didn't want my friends or ex-coworkers to know, so I just pretended I was still working. Every day I'd log in, aka open my laptop and sit there like I was busy. Told people I had meetings, walked around with AirPods in like I was on calls, applied to jobs nonstop in the background, even posted on LinkedIn occasionally about exciting projects at work, just to keep the illusion going. Then something wild happened. A recruiter saw one of those fake posts, reach out, and asked if I was open to opportunities. I said yes, got an interview, lied through my teeth about the current job, crushed the interviews, got an offer, higher salary, better title, remote, actual work-life balance. It's been 5 months now, and I still haven't told most people I was ever unemployed, honestly. Don't think I ever will. I used to feel guilty for faking it, but now I feel just relieved. The system built on BS anyway. I played along until it worked. Alright, first of all, how do your coworkers not know that, you know, you've been laid off in the first place? Like, you shouldn't have access to the company stuff if you've been laid off. Second, if you've been laid off, like, just be honest. You don't have to keep doing it, but I don't know. Maybe that's bad advice because it seems like it worked out for them. Am I the asshole for telling a friend? Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my friend I share everything with my wife and I don't believe in bro code? My friend and I have been friends for 25 years. We know each other well. We're both happily married. We never really dive into deep talks or anything like that. He has said things before that weren't really appropriate about women, not cheating or anything, and says, haha, bro code. I have told him forever that I don't believe in bro code. In my opinion, if you can't say something in front of your wife, then either you shouldn't be saying it, or you should work on your communication, or you're just not as compatible as you thought. Plus, I'm not protecting someone if they do something that goes against my own personal moral code. I mean, if he killed someone, I'd be there with a shovel in a hole and not tell anyone. There's always exceptions. Much later, he wanted to talk to me about something, told me it was in confidence, and I told him again, something he already knew, that anything he tells me, he's telling my wife too. They have also known each other nearly 20 years and get along great. We lived together for almost a decade. Anytime he wanted to talk about something, he'd go to her, and he knew that she'd tell him. There's nothing I don't tell my wife. Same for her. We both believe communication and openness are key to a happy relationship, and we're pretty happy. We basically never argue or disagree. Both of us know each other down to the core. So this last time, after telling him again that anything he confides in me will also go to my wife, he got upset. He contacted all of our friends and asked them if they'd go running to their wives when someone confided with them, and they're all on his side. I don't understand, it's not normal, but he has always known this, so it's not like it's a surprise. Am I the asshole for not wanting to keep secrets from my wife and willing to be open about it? So, in my opinion for this, I'd say yes, you are. Because having good communication and not hiding stuff from your wife is completely fine. Like, that's what you should be doing for a good relationship. But when it comes down to telling your wife your friend's business as well, then I think that's when it crosses the line because she has nothing to do with it, and you should be able to just keep it between you two. If you can't keep like a few secrets and just have like a little chat with your friend, then you know, I think the problem is on you. So I would also take the friend side here. And one of the comments here says, it's crazy how the OP claims that they would cover up a murder for the friend, but can't respect him enough to not go gabbing to the wife. I completely agree with that. Like, if you're willing to cover up a murder for your friend, the least you could do is just, you know, listen to him without having to tell your wife. Okay. Here's another am I the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my wife the lock on my daughter's door does not get removed till my brother-in-law and his daughters are out of our house? My brother-in-law, Sammy, I'm not actually gonna. My brother-in-law lost his home shortly after his divorce 10 months ago. He moved in with us and brought his twin daughters. Okay. My brother-in-law Sammy lost his home shortly after his divorce 10 months ago. He moved in with us and brought his twin daughters, Olivia and Sloane, 18, with him a couple months ago. His wife, his, no, his sister, my wife, and I have one daughter, Zoe, 16, and she and her cousins aren't close, but get along fine. Olivia and Sloane have no respect for Zoe's privacy. None. They used to walk into her room and take everything they get their hands on: makeup, phone accessories, clothes, school laptop, etc. Zoe complained a lot, and I've been asking the girls to respect Zoe's privacy and stop taking things. My wife and Sammy saw no issue with this. After all, they're girls, and this typical teenage girl behavior. I completely disagreed. Last straw was when Zoe bought a $60 MAC makeup kit that looks like a paint set that she saved up for over a month, and one of the girls, Sloane, took it without permission and ruined it by mixing shades together while using it. Don't know much about makeup, but that's what Zoe said when we found the kit on her bed and was crying. She found the kit on her bed and was crying. I told my wife, and she said she'd ask Sloan to apologize, but I got Zoe a lock after. I found she was moving valuable belongings out of the house because of this incident. Sammy and his daughters saw the lock and weren't happy. The girls were extremely upset. Sammy asked about it, and I straight up told him. He said, my daughters aren't thieves. It's normal that girls this age borrow each other's stuff. He said Zoe could easily get another makeup kit for 15 bucks from Walmart and shouldn't even be buying expensive adult makeup in the first place, and suggested me taking care of and she suggested my wife taking care of this defect. And Zoe's personality, trying to appear older than she is, He accused me of being overprotective and babying Zoe with this level of enablement. I told him this is between me and my wife, but she shamed me for putting a lock on Zoe's door. Her cousins to see her cousins to see and preventing them from spending more time with her, saying I was supposed to treat them like daughters, then demanded I remove it. But I said this lock does not get removed till her brother and his daughters are out of the house. She got mad. I was implying we kick them out and said her family will hate me for this, so I reminded her that I let Sammy and his family move in, which is something her own family refused to do. So she should start with shaming slash blaming them for not taking their own son and nieces slash granddaughters in. If it wasn't for their families' unwillingness to help, we wouldn't be dealing with this much disturbance at home. Everyone's been giving me and Zoe silent treatment, and my wife is very much upset over this. Okay, well, this guy is 100% in the right here. Like, first of all, it's not their fault that they're living with them. Like they're willingly letting them move in with them and they're just stealing stuff when their own family wouldn't take it in, which is completely messed up and not even listening to them when they stop in their own house is crazy. So I'm completely with this guy and yeah, the lock should stay on until they move out of the house. I, 22 male, am in medical school, and my fiance, 22 female, freaked out after seeing a diagram of a vagina in my anatomy book. Together for 6 years, and I don't know what to do. Some backstory. My fiance, Annie, and I have known each other since we were children and began dating junior year of high school. After high school, we both went to our state school, and I asked her to marry me junior year of undergrad. I have always dreamt of being a doctor, as has she. When the application process began, I applied to a good mix of MD and DO schools of varying degrees of selectivity, though all med schools are insanely selective. I had initially planned on continuing my education in my state institution because I did not want to take on too much debt. I did end up getting into my state school's med school, but I was also very unexpectedly I can't read, but I was also unexpectedly was offered a spot at one of the best med schools in the country in New England. I would have been inclined to reject the offer had I not qualified for a partial but still insignificant I can't read, but still significant scholarship. It would cost me more out of pocket than my state school would, but not significantly so, maybe a couple $1,000s more. Annie, despite pleas from myself, our parents, professors, advisors, etc., applied to only our state school and to some insanely selective schools, top 10 schools, that she had to be blunt, had no chance of getting into, given her admittedly mediocre grades and research experience. She was rejected from all schools she applied to, including our state institution. Obviously, this crushed her, and I have tried my best to support her during a difficult time and had to help her remain optimistic. Our situation now is this. I am currently enrolled at a aforementioned New England medical school while Annie has decided to take a year off to strengthen her profile with research experience, physician shadowing, etc. And this is currently living with me. There is no job open related to her undergrad major, political science, here or in our home state. That would be to give her sufficient time off for research, so she is currently working part-time in the retail industry. I have tried my best to be completely supportive of her, as I know this is a difficult time for her, and I have never ever said I told you so or anything along those lines. This is what ended up happening on Friday night. I was home studying for a test on Monday. When Annie came home from work, she came over to my desk and kissed me, asked her how her day went, and she didn't respond and suddenly looked very pissed off. After a few moments, she said, What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Textbook throwaway while pointing at an anatomical diagram of a vagina in my textbook. I was speechless. After regaining my composure, I managed to let out a surprised, "What do you mean? I'm studying," to which he said something along the lines of, "You know what I mean. Why are you looking at pictures of women's vaginas?" This is very strange because she knows I occasionally watch porn and has no problem with it. In fact, I know that she enjoys watching porn from time to time as well. I explained to her that I have to take anatomy in medical school, but she wasn't having it. She took my textbook and stormed off to our bedroom and locked the door. I could hear her crying and I kept apologizing. After a few minutes, she opened the door and threw her engagement ring before slamming it shut again to continue crying. I continued apologizing, but she did not respond at all. I spent the rest of the night on the couch. Saturday morning, she wasn't home. I checked my phone and there was a text from her saying she was staying with a friend and that the friend was done with and that she was done with us unless I dropped out of medical school and found another job because, and this is an honest to God text from her, she doesn't want me ogling at vaginas like a pervert. This is completely out of character for her. She has always been level headed and reasonable and has no history of mental illness or anything like that. I am not a stupid person, and I know that this is way more to do with the picture of a vagina in an anatomy textbook, but I have no idea what to do right now. She has stopped responding to texts. She won't pick up her phone. I spoke to her friend she's staying with who basically called me an a-hole and said that Annie is crying and getting drunk, and that neither of them want me coming over to speak with her. Her parents passed when we were young children, and she didn't have any siblings or much other family. I have no idea what to do anymore. I love her more than anything, but there is absolutely no way I'm dropping out of medical school for her, and I would rather than I bend I'd rather we break up than I bend to her completely unreasonable demands, but I am very concerned for her mental health right now and need advice. Okay. Update 1 days later. I'll save you the trouble. She wasn't cheating, nor was she pregnant. Yesterday, I decided enough was enough and I headed over to where she's staying, intent on ending the relationship. When I got there, she was half drunk. What followed was a lot of screaming and cussing directed at me. I learned why she wanted me to drop out. It had nothing to do with the textbook vaginas. When I was a sophomore, two of my friends dropped out of college to work on their tech startup full time and invited me to come to work with them. My undergrad degree was in comp science. I rejected the offer because I wanted to concentrate on my dream, becoming a doctor. Fortunately, their startup did very well, and last year they sold it to a large tech company for a very large sum of money, in the low 8 figures. I was thrilled for them. After they sold the company, both of them obviously had large lifestyle changes. One of them proposed to their girlfriend with a ridiculously big diamond, and they were frequently vacationing in exotic locations with family, and so. Apparently, their success and lifestyle made my girlfriend extremely jealous, and she came up with the vagina thing as a way for me to drop out of medical school. She thinks I can easily make 150K a year at a bank, so we wouldn't have to live like refugees, and that I am an idiot for doing so. Still, I was confused. I asked her about her dreams of being a doctor. Turns out she never wanted to go into medicine, but only claimed to because it was all I ever talked about. I guess that explains her application strategy. I was done. I broke up with her on the spot and told her not to contact me again. She's going to continue staying with a friend while figuring out a living arrangement. In my opinion, that relationship definitely needed to end, you know, going on for that long and then getting mad over something so little, like while you're trying to follow your dreams as well. And not only that, but she lied to you in the first place while you guys were first talking just to get to know you better. Like, that is pretty messed up, and I don't think you guys should have been together in the first place if, you know, it was all built on lies. she's clearly a gold digger just looking for money.